What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today when I talk to you about Virgin Galactic, I want to go over some of the data points, what's moving, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Virgin is up 2.57%, 347 the low, 366 the high. So it is largely piggybacking off of the broader markets kind of recovery today. There really hasn't been that much in news coming out from the company itself. Last news was on October the 22nd, and that's just them announcing the date of their Q3 earnings. And so I've already kind of dived deep into this on my previous video, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I do feel like this is going to be a pretty good catalyst only because of the low expectations from Wall Street. So again, just add November 13th to kind of your calendars. Aside from that though, the market is digesting some recent data. So ADP employment did come in better than anticipated. So 42,000 versus 20,000 the forecast. Although with this good data, it is kind of diminishing the likelihood of a cut for the December 10th meeting because it went from about 72 to now 64.5% of a likelihood of a 25 basis point cut. So not the best, but given all the fear that's been in the broader market, Powell, everyone really kind of crapping all over consumers, I think this is more of a calming in the broader market, despite it kind of contradicting a justified rate cut. So let me know your thoughts on that. And then we did also have ISM services came in at 52.4 and then 50.8 is the forecast for that. When it comes to shorts, at the time doing this video, they are increasing 46,000 shares, 21.7% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 12.4 million shares overall being shorted. Shorts definitely are overextended, DTC sitting at 3.14 days. I'd like to say that Virgin is going to be eventually like rid of shorts, but shorts make up for a solid about 60% of the daily volume. So I don't really see them going away anytime soon. One natural deterrent is going to be profitability, but I don't think Virgin that should be in anyone's conversation just yet. And interestingly enough, I've kind of covered Virgin on and off like every couple of weeks. And one interesting thing though is that shorts have been really returning. The million-dollar question is why, but they've been really returning, which in turn adds buying pressure. Lately, they have been doubling down. So maybe Virgin was getting too hot and they decided to really hit it hard, because even in my last video, I said that we were potentially going to be having a nice golden cross, technical breakout, and maybe shorts just said, nope, I'm not having that happen. I'm going to increase. And so of course, with them making up for about 60% of the volume, whatever they say goes. So it's rather unfortunate, but it is what it is. Latest 13 Fs, a lot of interesting things coming out. So we do have a lot of the big names increasing their position, not anything significant that you need to jump up and down with joy over, but BlackRock did increase their position in Q3 by about 6,000 shares, Vanguard by 284,000. This is a little bit more of a breakdown of all their ETFs, so feel free to kind of take a look at that. But big names increasing their position in Q3, I think is fairly optimistic. Looking at the options so far today, about 49,000 in calls, 7,800 in puts. So options have never really been a popular thing for Virgin. Despite that though, 52% of all the options being done are bearish in nature today. From a bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around $4, and that's even including the week of their earnings. So that's kind of what the bulls are anticipating. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 3. So you kind of have that back and forth. No different than my last couple of videos. There's been no transactions on the secondary market and no transactions on the dark pool. So still, big money is not really paying attention to it as much as they possibly should. But aside from that, with it at 361, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So 359 is going to be that strong support, and then followed by 319. Flip side, 424, and then 488 is going to be the next strong target / resistance points. So just kind of watch for those. Aside from all of that fun stuff on the actual chart, this is where things get a little sticky. So it is bouncing off that 100-day moving average right now, or today it did. And so we know that's a good support level because it also did bounce off of that yesterday. But still, this definitely does signal that it's breaking down. And I think given how active shorts are, it is fair to assume that a lot of this could be interpreted as just artificially being suppressed. But still, moral of the story is they need to really hit a home run earnings coming up in order to really push higher and incentivize institutions to get in. So technicals don't really look that great. One positive though is stochastic RSI. It is very oversold. So again, good piece of news. You could really see a nice push higher. As far as I'm aware, I don't think that there's anything planned for news at least coming up aside from their earnings in 2026. Definitely there's going to be a lot more, but right now not really all that much. So let me know your thoughts on Virgin in the comments below. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? What's your general thoughts on Virgin? And then one final thing, I always did have a Patreon where I always put out daily day trades on stocks, options, crypto, and definitely a lot of them have been on point. I recently did move over to Stacked, and so I'm doing a $1 promo just for the next 48 hours. So anyone that wants to sign up for the first tier where you get buy alerts, you can get it for $1. So definitely take advantage of that. Link in the description below and also the comments. Just starting that today, so the next 48 hours, you can sign up for that. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.